Yep, definitely saving this one, mirroring it and keeping it.
Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. Today's the 6th, it's April, it's 2019, and the sun is out. The sun is out in Boston. It's almost like a natural day. It's 50, 60 degrees, the sun's out, clouds are kind of fluffy. The airplanes are up there, but they're not killing it. Probably by the end of the day they will. But you know what's insane? It's really, really insane. I've been tied up the last couple of days, so I haven't been doing as much research as I'd like to. But the amount of flooding, the amount of science dictating your life is amazing me. I watched a video by Jason A. this morning when I was drinking my coffee. Jason A.'s been around for a million years. I don't think anyone even knows who he is. Whatever. He has a way of putting together the news, which kind of wraps it up for the week. The funny thing is with all these videos that I make of the chemtrails in the sky and then blocking out the sky and blocking out the sky, there's a movement going on where they want to reclaim the night skies. They're saying that there's too much light pollution at night, so nobody can see the stars. Well, that's one thing. There's always been light pollution. People that do what I do, astronomy, people that do what I do, you deal with it. You can go to a place that's dark. You can drive a mile down the road and get away from light pollution. But these guys are trying to push a campaign where, once again, government and science will come into your home and dictate when you can't have your lights on. Do you see what I'm saying? How amazing is this? So we have science telling us that everyone, 100%, vaccines don't work unless 100% of the people are vaccinated. We have science telling us that those airplanes up there that aren't up there today, that spray crisscross and tic-tac-toe patterns and completely block out the sun and moon, those aren't real, but climate change is. Even though thousands of scientists and PhDs have lost their funding and jobs for coming clean about climate change. We're watching them flooding the farmlands, flooding people out like we've never seen before. When you control the weather, that's exactly what you do. It's exactly what you do. And Rolling Stone wrote an article about it saying it's amazing with all this flooding going on and we have a climate change denying president, etc., etc. Long story short, this is why chemtrails are so important. This is why solar remediation, geoengineering, whatever name you want to call it, is so important because they can use it to control the weather. They can control the weather, they can block out the sky at night, so then they can suddenly come up with a thing saying, well, nobody can see the stars, so no one's allowed to have lights on at night anymore. Is that a thing? It's coming. We've watched them controlling the weather and burn down specific exact locations in California just a few months ago. Now we're watching them completely and totally annihilate the Midwest with floods like we've never seen. And not just the Midwest. Strangely enough, the other enemy of our government, besides the American citizen, is Iran. And Iran's getting it too. This is why this is so important. Not only can they control the weather, but the stuff they're using to control the weather, frequencies, nanoparticulates, heavy metals, we're breathing all this in, which is causing autism, which is causing Alzheimer's. And now we're watching everything we remembered grow up change. Seems like an enormous agenda, doesn't it? Like an antichrist agenda. Because it is. And now we're watching YouTube channels that people thought were good to go completely and totally flip the script. Alex Jones, of course, leading the charge. Well, Richie, you've already talked about Alex. It's important. It's incredibly important. Because this is the continuation of two psyops that have been going on since Alex Jones and since 2012. And the good thing about this, the players, the plants, the agents, the COINTEL, the disinfo agents are revealing themselves. So simply unsubscribe and walk away. Or don't. Make excuses for what you know is absolute bullshit. But I like the guy
He's been right on a
It's a
few
big deal.
things,
It's a big
man.
problem.
I can't take that
This
away from
entire
him.
thing with Alex Jones is going to be a snowball, and it's going to get bigger and bigger. And like I said, we're watching other channels that recently popped up and became huge.
Yeah.
We're watching
All
them
of a
help
sudden.
make that snowball effect even worse. Be warned. Be aware. This is
Yeah.
real. This is a
What kind of
fight
channel
for
this guy's
everything
watching?
that you were placed on this earth to do. It's all being taken away. All of it. And if it's being taken away from you, it's being taken away from your children, your nieces, your nephews, your daughters, your sons, and any future generation anyone ever hoped to have. You see what I'm saying? This is serious. It's incredibly serious. We have science telling us that even though a newborn baby has never in history been hit with so many right out of the womb,
Wow.
and then on the other hand, the skyrocketing effect of autism. Oh, there's no correlation there. There's nothing there. Even though the government has made it impossible for people to seek retribution if their newborn is damaged by because our government is protecting corporations and not the people. Do you know why? The government is not
Didn't
for
look
the
like
people.
an edit, though.
We live on a farm, man. We live on a farm where you're allowed to pick what you do for a living, for the most part. You're allowed to freely move around, for the most part. But the people in charge are the same exact people that have always been in charge. The big oil, the barons, the robber barons, those are the same guys that came up with the global warming hoax. Who do you think it is that has enough money to spray the skies? Well, they would be poisoning themselves. We don't know that. We don't know that. I'll tell you what. If I had the money, the research, and the ability to make a poison to kill a bunch of people,
Slowly,
and I had to take it too so the people didn't think it was a poison, I'd have the antidote. And I'm sure they do too. Why are they destroying the planet? Because I'm pretty sure there's more of the planet that we don't know about. Or the same Antichrist demonic entity that's given them all this technology that just doesn't seem to stop. We were on horses and buggies for 5,000 years, and then suddenly planes, trains, automobiles, nuclear weapons, etc., etc. That all happened in this last generation. Whatever is giving them the technology has also blinded them with power and greed. So maybe there is no antidote. But I wouldn't be surprised if there was. Be aware. Be prepared. I'm telling you, it's coming. A judge recently overturned the unvaccinated children are banned in public. Recently overturned that. I would imagine that was from the pushback, and the federal government will step in there and squash that entire thing. But that's one. 5G is being activated in the Northeast, in the Midwest, out in California. When that entire control grid is up and running, you better hope that you're grounded in the Word of God, because they will have the ability to make you lose track of what you're thinking, or maybe even make you think something entirely different. These are things you need to think about. I get it. I hear it all the time. Richie, it's all fair porn. It isn't all fair porn. It isn't all fair porn. We win in the end. We win in the end. If you don't believe in God publicly, think about it privately. Because God was real. There was no Big Bang. That's just nonsensical. We were created. And we were created in the image of God. How amazing is that? How amazing is that? And God told us all of this was coming. And here it comes. Everything's just speeding up, quicker and quicker, faster and faster. It's all the people with the degrees and with their science background. You can be the most brilliant scientist ever, but if the science that you learned was flawed, guess what? You're a master of bullshit. Seriously? You're a scientist and you can't tell that they're spraying the skies? Then read, because they've come out with it. I've been telling people about this forever, and now they're doing it. Why would they want to darken the
I mean,
planet?
if you want to go
Why would they
back
want to
one
light
that
up the night
pretty well
sky?
known
You see what I'm saying?
Popeye.
This is all stuff on a cosmic warfare level. Shit that we can't even understand. At any rate,
When my buddies came back,
what a time to live in. What a time to live in.
they used it to freeze the place.
Also, I'm being shadow banned. I just figured that out. So that's awesome.
The shadow band.
I haven't got a new subscriber in a month. That's never happened since 2010. Never once. So it is what it is. That just tells us that we're at the end of the road.
Here.
A lot of people have joined the realrichiefromboston.com. Good for you. That's awesome. It's a free place. We're still working out the kinks. We're still trying to figure out how to deal with so many people at one time, but it's working. It's working. Had to throw a few people out. Probably have to throw a few more people out. What are you gonna do? At any rate, Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I'm out.